After months of waiting, the Leviathan Tactical M4 impact grenade is finally ready. It's done. It's available for sale. All you have to do is go buy Leviathan Tactical to pick yourself one up. But I know you're asking, what is it? Is it worth it? Is it truly something worth me spending my money on? And the shorter answer is yes. Adrian and Marcel have been working tirelessly in designing this thing. They've done tons of prototypes, tons of testing, and they have finally got it down to a pretty darn good science. So, how does it work? The design they've come up with uses the core from the old style Thunder B grenades or the newer style Thunder V grenades, where they have set up the primer to go inside the body of the grenade itself. They put a firing pin inside the head of the grenade, and when you pull the pin like this, nothing happens. That's because they have a magnet that's holding the spoon onto the grenade. But when you take and hit the ground with it, it's just enough impact to break that off the magnet, and the hammer falls, hammer hits the firing pin, and boom, the primer that's in there goes bang. The ammo that this thing uses is going to be your Type 209 primers. That's all. You can get them any place that sells reloading supplies. I found these at the Styx River shooting range, and I bought 100 of them for $7.36. That's 7.36 cents per grenade throw that you're doing. Now, if you go to someplace like Academy Sports, you have to order them through Academy. $17 for the 209 primer. It's a 100 count box. If you're on your way to Buc-ee's, take that exit right before Buc-ee's to go out to the Styx River gun range and buy them there. It's a really, really fair price to do it. You can buy 1,000 of these things for $69. That's an awful lot of grenade throws. They reload fairly quickly. I got a video to show you how to do that. We'll talk about that one in just a second. The nice part about it is because they're so easy to reload, you can use them multiple times. I was just out at Operation Serious Viking a couple weeks ago, and at Serious Viking, I used this grenade over and over again to blow up people that were hiding in rooms, to clear rooms, or just to get them to duck their head back. Throw in a grenade, boom, everybody is pulled back out when they see that grenade coming in, and then you can go in and clear the room the rest of the way. Worked wonderful for that. Let's watch this video to see how the grenade actually works. To load the grenade, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to lift the spoon just like this, and that exposes the hammer, which is this part here. I'm going to take my pin, I'm going to come up underneath the hammer and pry it up so I can get my thumb under it, and pull it back, and then I'm going to use the pin to go in the hole, just enough to hold that primer back until I can get the spoon down. Now the spoon is holding the primer, and now I get to take and line up this hole right here, which this is honestly the hardest part, is getting your pin to line up to go in. And I'm not going to put mine all the way in right now, because I pry my end parts apart so that when it goes all the way through and I pry it apart a little bit, I can then hang the grenade on my tactical vest from the pin. That way when it comes time to need it, I just take and yank it off the vest, the pin stays attached to the vest, and the grenade's ready to go. Now I'm going to unscrew the grenade body, and right here, whoops, this is a CNC piece of aluminum that they're doing in-house at Leviathan. That's what your primer is going to go into. This is the old used primer I've got. I'm going to take the new primer and I'm going to drop it in just like that, and then I'm going to screw it back together. Now I want to point out that magnet. That magnet is going to have to line up with the spoon when you're done, because it's going to hold the spoon shut. So now when I take and pull the pin out, you can see the spoon's not going anywhere, the grenade's not going off. But as soon as it hits the ground, the grenade goes off. Pretty cool. I know what you're thinking. That didn't sound very loud, did it? Guys, that's because it was recorded on a GoPro. Trust me, this sucker's loud. I took it to a local police department and used their sound meter to test it, and it tested consistently at about 110 decibels. Grenade point blank range is, and that came up to just 108 decibels. Alright, trying one more time. Point blank. This time I'm going to watch the screen, and yep, 111. Where it peaked out at. That's not too bad. Now, those tests were conducted with me holding the exit hole from the grenade right up to the sound meter. It was the loudest it's going to be. Of course, to get distance away from your subject, it's not going to be so loud. So with that level of noise, where can you expect to use it? Well, I demonstrated it for Sal at Third Coast Airsoft, and he said you can use it anywhere on his field. Indoor, outdoor, he doesn't care. He loved the grenade. I also talked to Stan about it over Southern Tactical Airsoft games, and he wasn't so sure about the indoor thing. He said that they limit their indoor to 90 decibels because they're trying to protect the hearing of all the kids that play there. I totally get that. So he limits it to being an outdoor use grenade, but there's plenty of outdoor there you can use it at. A lot of other fields, you're probably going to be able to use it anywhere you want because, let's face it, most fields, they like noise. They like loud grenades, and it's not a big deal. So from here, let's talk about the different designs that Leviathan has come up with. Now, I really like the baseball design. That sucker's just the right size. It feels good in my hand. I can throw it easily. I love it. They've also got the more traditional pineapple grenade design if you're into that. But along with that, you've also got things like flashbang designs, and they're even working on trying to incorporate that green metal flashbang design there that is used in a real live training grenade. So several different options to fit your playing style and what it is you're looking for. So what kind of issues have I encountered with a grenade? Well, I have had some failure to fire issues. But as soon as it hits the ground, well, that didn't go too well. But the majority of the time, the grenade works just like it's advertised. Marcel says that if dirt gets in the spring, that's going to slow the hammer down, preventing it from firing. I think that on that one, I had actually had a piece of the previous primer stuck up in the firing pin, preventing it from getting a good solid impact. So, does it happen? Yes. Does it happen often? No. For an impact style grenade landing in soft dirt and grassy areas, if you ever played with them, you know they have a bad reputation of not going off if they hit something soft. This one here goes off dang near every time it lands, no matter what you throw it on. Now, another issue I've had is that you can't just yeet that grenade out there as hard as you can in an overhand throw. If you do, odds are that spoon's going to come off the magnet and it's going to go off right after it leaves your hand. Instead, what you want to do is either underhand throw it or slowly accelerate your arm as you're doing it, keeping your hand away from that spoon so you're not triggering it as it releases. Now, I'm not saying you can't throw it far. I've thrown these things pretty far, a lot farther than you can throw a standard pea grenade because it has a weight to go with it. But you just got to be careful with how hard you accelerate with it. So where do you purchase them at? You purchase them at the Leviathan Tactical store in Pensacola, Florida. For now, you have to go to the store and purchase them. They're not doing online orders yet, but they're working on getting there. Right? They want to get their local community, airsoft community, flush with these things first before they start shipping them out to other locations. Also, Marcel said that if you have a Thunder B or a Thunder V core that you would like to be converted into or have converted into one of these grenades, bring it to them, call them first at this number down here to make sure they have the parts in stock, and then you can bring it to them and they will hopefully be able to make that conversion for you. So what does a grenade cost? Well, when you buy the brand new grenade with a brand new core, the 3D printed body, and the 10 primers that come in this really cool sleeve here, that's $69.95. Now, yes, that sounds like a lot of money, but any other primer-based grenade is going to cost you well over $100 to get. At least all of them I've seen, it's going to cost you well over $100 to get, and they're not as generally as reliable when landing on grass as this grenade is. Let's see here. I do believe I've covered everything. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on it and answer any questions you can that I can for you. And of course, if you want real answers for them, don't talk to me. Call Marcel and Adrian and Ted over at Leviathan Tactical. Let them answer your questions, but they're the true pros on these things. I've just gotten the real pleasure of playing with them, and now it's time for me to head back out on the field and blow up some more folks. I'll see y'all out there.